Hello, and welcome to another episode from the Department of Deportation. Today we're going to be taking a look at yet another illegal immigrant semi-truck driver who killed somebody and also had a CDL. That's right, illegals are still driving big rigs on American roads and are still murdering citizens. Don't forget to like and share the video, and please follow our channel. So this week we saw another news story that started out as just a random semi-truck crash, but then you notice things like they didn't release any of the details on the driver, which, as the one person commenting noted, meant that it was probably an Indian illegal. Then we saw word broke that indeed ICE had a detainer out for the driver. And then we see, indeed, it is an illegal immigrant from India who was only let into this country in 2018 at the border because, get this, he came in as a minor. Well, somehow, despite being illegal, he still managed to get a CDL. It is ironic that this illegal was making an illegal U-turn, and if you go to our Etsy shop, you can see that our site merch includes a U-turn only shirt. Of course, we're referencing U-turning them at the border and not encouraging them to make illegal U-turns and kill citizens. So the question comes up, how are these people still getting CDLs and who's employing them to drive? Well, if we look at these two separate posts from Savannah Hernandez, one of the best journalists in the country, we'll see that indeed they are getting CDLs even in red states. And also in states like Ohio, they're operating trucking companies and being hired there.
This is Savannah Hernandez in Columbus, Ohio, because you've heard of daycare fraud, but have you heard about fraud in the trucking industry? Well, if you haven't, I'm currently at this location because apparently 32 trucking companies have been registered to this exact same address. Now, 16 of those companies are since inactive, but 16 of them are still active. And for those of you who might not be familiar with the way the DOT works, the Department of Transportation issues one DOT number to one individual trucking company. Now, the address of this is important because this is where all of the employees for said company come to work. It's where all of the records are kept. So if the DOT wanted to come and conduct an audit of said company, this is the location that they would come to. However, when we went inside, we did not see 16 trucking companies listed. Again, if the DOT wanted to, this is where there should be employees and records for 16 separate trucking companies. We're going to be highlighting how broad this is and answering the very important question, how are illegal immigrants driving 18-wheelers? How are non-English speaking migrants getting CDL licenses and driving on our streets? We're going to be answering all of that and get to the core of how the trucking industry has gotten to the place where it is today. So stay tuned for that.
This seems to be a deeply entrenched system of frauds, where illegals who are committing fraud by being here are getting CDLs under fraudulent pretenses and with very sketchy companies. And then also we see that the trucking companies are hiring them. I bet a lot of them actually know that they're hiring illegals. Savannah Hernandez also found this ad for a trucking school who actually deleted their social medias completely after she unveiled it.
Sama gaay man la Mor Mbaye ñëwoon naa fi school A1 doon def sama training CDL yàlla def na get naa ci tey maa ngi jógee fi ba Columbus Ohio school mi ngi fi Dayton mais school bu baax la te macha allah.
It also appears that he was able to slide in just before some of these rules changed.
24-year-old Sukhdeep Singh from India, who was caught and released at the border in 2018. DHS says a court order known as the Flores Consent Decree forced the agency to release Singh to sponsors because at the time he was a minor. Federal law enforcement sources tell Fox News Singh received his commercial driver's license this past May in Indiana just before the Transportation Department instituted new rules to stop people from other countries from being able to get CDLs so easily. DHS tells us it is incredibly dangerous for illegal aliens who often don't know our traffic laws or even English to be operating semi-trucks on America's roads. These tragedies are 100% preventable. This case appears to be a prime example of what the administration is trying to prevent. Our local Fox station reports Singh has had 5 driving citations since 2022, including 3 speeding tickets, 1 for no registration, and according to court records, just last month, he was in a car accident and got ticketed for not having insurance, which would typically lead to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles suspending someone's commercial driver's license. But in this case, it's not clear whether or not that happened. We have reached out to them about that. As for Singh, we are told he is now in ICE custody.
So it looks like even with all the work that has been done to stop this, both stopping people from coming across the border illegally and them trying to attempt to get CDLs to no longer be issued and get these truckers off the road, it looks like they're still slipping through the cracks and still killing Americans, and we still have some work to do. Well, that does it for this episode. Don't forget to like and share the video, give our channel a follow, and visit Etsy for any of the t-shirts that you saw listed here, including the U-turn only one.